The 828th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a $25 deposit bonus.
Hello, Degenerinos. Welcome to episode 828 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Drifting Hobo, which is a good name, on YouTube, who likes Gumby's hats. We all love Gumby's hats. He's enjoying his minor league baseball hats. Today, it is a Korean baseball hat, correct?
Yeah, the Kiwam Heroes.
There you go. So Gumby is always bringing the hats. Thank you for checking the show out, Drifting Hobo. And for all of you, thanks for tuning in for part 2. Well, event 2, I guess, technically, of Road to UFC. I would be Supremo Simplicio, Jeff Fox. That would be Gumby Vreeland, the man with the hats. I have hats too, but it's always from our merch store. Make sure you check out the merch store. I'll tell you more about that in a sec. So yesterday we covered episode 1 of Road to UFC. No UFC proper this week, but they're doing the Road to UFC events. 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. So we're covering all of them. Yesterday was the early one, Thursday, 7 a.m. start time. Today, we're doing the Thursday, 10 a.m. episode. Yesterday was all about this one too. Thursday is all about the featherweight and the flyweight tournaments, and then a bonus fight that they put on each in a different weight class on each of those cards. And then tomorrow, I guess it would be 135 and one and lightweight, right? Or
yeah,
it's
35 and 55.
Right. Okay. So that would be tomorrow. Thoughts on today's group of fighters, the 10 people we're going to be covering?
You know, you asked me yesterday who I thought the best prospect on there was, and I kind of hemmed and hawed and was like, maybe these guys who won this fight, if they win this fight. And this one, I feel like I have a more definitive answer. So that maybe is a tell of how strong this card is that, like, I think there are very legitimate UFC prospects on this fight card that are definitely worth watching.
All right. That's what we like to hear. And we're going to dive into it after. I'll remind you, I mentioned the merch store. We're having a sale right now in the merch store. That will be sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Type in the checkout. The code is DEGENS, DEGENS. That'll get you 20% off everything in there. We have a cool new line of DEGENS merch in there. DEGENS has a bunch of DEGENS stuff. And of course, the MMA Gambling Podcast gear is a can't miss as well. So check it out, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. All right, let's dive into it and find out who this fancy fighter is. The fighter that caught Gumby's fancy more precisely. A couple. We're going to Shanghai, China again at the Performance Institute, the UFC Apex of China. Part 2 is happening basically right after episode 1 ends. So, right, it's scheduled as 10 a.m. Eastern on Thursday. So, the Gen special as well. 5 fights in a cage. I told you what we're covering, what weight class we're covering, and let's dive right into it with the feature fight. Aziz Khaydarov. He is from, where is he from? Let me check what flag that is. He is from China. He's from China, really? Okay. That's not really a Chinese name, is it? Mansher Khera from the United States of America. 35 rounds, 155. Let's break it down by telling you about Khera first. The Punjabi Prince is 8-0, 1 knockout, 6 submissions. Short notice debut here. At least he's stepping in. I assume it's on short notice, right?
It's pretty darn short notice. This one is.
Very short. Okay. Yeah, visa issues for Khaydarov's original opponent. All right. He's won 3 straight fights via finish. That would be Khera. We're back at here. Regional champ. Used to fight at 145. 1-0 bare knuckle MMA. 2-5-1 as a pro grappler. Khaydarov 21-6. 1 knockout. 15 submissions. He's been submitted twice. This is his debut as well. He's gone 4-0 and 19-1. He's not fought though since July 2023. He's not lost since December 2020. He's fought at 135, 145, 170. He's been all over the map. 2014 pro MMA debut. An inch of height. A year younger than Khera.
So Mansher Khera is the one I'm most excited about on this fight card.
The Punjabi Prince.
Yeah, I hate to spoil this so early in the breakdown, but like Mansher Khera is the guy. I'm kind of hoping the OV in Khaydarov's name helps bring that line down on Khera. Or maybe the fact that Khera is fighting on short notice. But the fact of the matter is Mansher Khera has been running through opponents at Fury. He's 8-0, and he beat some guys.
He's the champ too, right?
Yeah, he's the champ, and he's beaten some guys I'm very high on. You know, he beat Devin Dixon, who's really tough. He beat Sam Kilmer, who's damn good. Like, and in all those fights too, it's like a nice mixture of letting his hands go and getting his wrestling going. Now, he did give up a couple of early takedowns to Kilmer because Kilmer's, I mean, he's just such a good wrestler. But after that, he settled in and stuffed the rest of them, started piecing them up on the feet. Khera's just deadly in there. His ground and pound's good. He's fast. It looks like he's the real deal at 8-0. And, for Khaydarov, he's fought a really low level of competition. I watched one of his fights back with an opponent who's 4-2 and then became 4-3 with the loss. So, not a particularly high level of opponent. And he's, frantic on the feet to start. Like, he almost looks nervous when he's striking. And then he shoots the takedown. And because he, did nothing to set it up, the guy just, sidesteps him almost like he was a bull.
Yep. Ole.
Matador situation here. He just, sends him flying behind him. And he did 2 or 3 of those before he then gets the takedowns and ground and pounds him out, however he beat him. One better rear naked choke. But yeah, Khaydarov just to me screams like he's got a lot of pieces, but he hasn't quite figured out how to put it all together. And against somebody like Mansher, Khera, I can't imagine that plays well. So my guess is Khera. I'm hoping with the way they pull it down, we can get him right around -200, maybe 225. And he'll be worth every penny of that. Mansher, Khera, I think he's the real deal.
So how do you get this fight? Do you know?
I think
he's going from Fury to Shanghai. Short notice.
My guess is they've been in contact with him about possible late replacement fights. And they probably already got him, on the call. And then they were like, hey, we can give you a late replacement fight in Shanghai on road to the UFC, which is not UFC. But if you win it, you'll be in the UFC. And that's basically a contender series fight for him then, right?
Right.
And so I think he probably saw the film on the opponent and was like, yeah, I can do that.
Yep. That works for me for sure. All right. We are off to now the tournament. This is the continuation of the flyweight tournament first round that we covered yesterday. Rio Tirto from Indonesia, I believe. I just checked and I already forgot. Yes, Indonesia. He's fighting a New Zealander named Aaron Tao, who we've discussed before. You'll remember when I say his nickname if you don't remember already. 3 5-minute rounds. Break it down. Tao. You remember his nickname, Gumby? Of course you do.
Tao's him up.
Tao's him up. All one word. Tauzemu. Tao's him up is 9-1, 6 knockouts, 1 submission. This is his debut. TKO win in his last bout. He went 0-1 in the contender series. Who did you lose to, Gumby?
Elijah Smith.
Yes. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch, sportsgameplugs.com/store. The Gens is your code, 20% off. Use fight at 135 and 145. He's got 1-0 in custom rules fighting. Tirto, the Black Cobra.
What is custom rules?
Custom rule. It doesn't say, Tapology doesn't tell you what the rules are, but they're custom.
Okay.
I think you have to wear cutoff jean shorts or something as the custom.
Nice. So custom shorts for the custom rules.
Maybe. The Black Cobra, Tirto, is 8-0, 2 knockouts, 3 submissions. This is his debut. He used to fight at 115 because they have men's strawweight in some areas of the world. An inch of height over Tao, 7 years younger.
So my guess here is Tao -300. And he's my pick here too. And maybe not to be outdone by Mansher, Khera. I'm pretty excited about Aaron Tao. When I saw his name came up here, I was like, man, it's crazy that he's getting in here at flyweight because he looked good at bantamweight, right? He was a good bantamweight against he fought Elijah Smith, who we've now seen is a very tough out, right? That is a hell of a fight, and it was back and forth. He looked really good in that fight. I think, Elijah Smith took that on short notice and tired a little bit at the end, but Tao was right there in the 3rd round. And I will also say, while I'm a little bit worried about him going down a weight class, because he was it looked like a decent sized bantamweight, I think both the size and that cardio plays up here against Tirto, because first of all, he's a bantamweight and Tirto is made strawweight. We're talking about guys who are typically about 20 pounds apart. He's going to be a lot bigger and a lot stronger. Second of all, I've seen Tirto gas pretty badly in fights. And I'm talking early in fights too. I'm talking beginning of the 2nd round. And a lot of it is because he wrestles sometimes, but he has no faith in his ability to keep somebody down and throw punches. So he almost like he just holds him down and squeezes every muscle in his body trying to hold the guy there. So then he does no damage and his limbs tire out. So he's got good wrestling, but he doesn't have any of the jiu-jitsu pieces or the ground and pound pieces to go with it. So then why wrestle? Why would you want to be down? And he's snappy on the feet. I like his striking, but the problem is he just backs up too much. And with Tao, you can't let him dictate the pace. you can't let him dictate space. We saw that with Elijah Smith. When he came forward and landed the punches on Tao had a little bit of trouble. When Tao was, backing up or moving forward himself, he found success. And now some of that, again, the gas and stuff like that. But I think at the end of the day, Aaron Tao is a solid striker who is going to come with the pressure. And then the other piece about Tao that I think maybe people forget about, he too can wrestle a little bit. Like, I know maybe less so in the Elijah Smith fight, but for obvious reasons, Smith is a good wrestler. But in the, if you go back to his time on the regional scene, he scored some big, he picked up his opponent in one of the fights, carried him across the cage, Matt Hughes style, and slammed him in front of his own corner. I don't necessarily like how he chooses to hold people down, but he's more willing to open up and do damage. And at the end of the day, that's the name of the game, right? It's the damage. The Darren Elkins, the damage.
Yeah, the damage.
And so Aaron Tao, to me, is most likely the guy who's going to be doing the damage. I think moving forward, he should be able to defend those takedowns, but even if not, he'll get right back up. And the cardio advantage. So give me Aaron Tao, probably huge favorite though.
Yeah, he's 90% favorite on the old Tapology. What was your guess at a number?
I said negative 300. Negative 300.
Yeah. That's pretty big. May even be bigger. We'll have to see. He's going to Tao's him up regardless, right?
Tao's him up.
Yes. All right. Before we get you more winning picks, it is time to tell you about Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. So sign up today at edgeboost.bet with our promo code SGPN and deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. So it's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And it's time for Gummy's bonus underdog pick and play. Underdog is going long for the NBA playoffs with their extender bonus, hopping game one. And the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. What's our play and what's our sport, Gumby?
I'm going to go to baseball. I'm going to take a guy by the name, you might not even know this guy, JT Ginn. He throws for the A's. I think he's kind of underrated in how good of a pitcher he is. He's only thrown 3 games on the year, but in 2 of them, he's gone higher than 6 strikeouts. He's got 6, or rather higher than 5.5 strikeouts. He's got 6 and 7 in 2 of those 3 starts. Playing the Angels, probably a good spot for him there. So I'm going to take the higher than on JT Ginn's strikeouts.
All right. Take that and take our code MMASGPN over to underdogfantasy.com and you can claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. So underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. All right, let's get you some more winners over in Shanghai. We are going to the featherweight tournament now. Jin Aoi versus Chang Min Yoon. So we got Japan versus South Korea, 3 500 rounds. Let's break it down. We tell you about Yoon first. The big heart. Is he describing like a genetic issue that he has, or
abnormality?
Yeah, the big heart. 7-2-1, 1 knockout, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. He owes his rounds. Why not? This is his debut. 2-0-1 over his last 3. He got a draw in his last bout. He's not lost since November 2021. He went 7-2-1 championship, the biggest promotion in the world, while they're still up active, I guess. Used fight at 155 and 170, 2 inches height, 3 inches reach over Aoi. Online. His nickname is Blue Devil, 14-5-1, 7 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted once. This is his debut as well. He's won 5 straight. TKO win in his last bout. He's not lost since May 2022. He's regional champ. He's fought at 155, 2015 pro MMA debut. 3 years younger than Yoon.
I think Aoi is going to be the favorite here. I'm going to say -1. No, maybe even 2. -215. You get a plus 185, plus 195 on Yoon. And as I did on yesterday's episode, I'm going to go with the Korean. I'm going to take Chang Min Yoon. I think the big reason that Aoi is going to be the favorite is actually the reason I think he'll lose. He's so exciting to watch fight. Jin Aoi is it's like flying knees for days. He knocked one dude out with some of the most brutal soccer kicks I've ever seen. The guy shot a takedown, he got his underhooks in, and just basically sat him up like he was sitting in a chair and then just kicked him straight across the face. He's so fun to watch. Now, here's multiple problems here. When you're that crazy and that exciting, you open yourself up to being taken down, right? If you're going to throw a flying knee, somebody like Chang Min Yoon is going to take you down. And he's got really good control once he does. He's also mostly safe on the feet, but the more important part is I think he will exploit a flying knee. the other thing is the thing that the people like about Jin Aoi is the soccer kicks, right? Like he's won fights with soccer kicks. He's done damage with soccer kicks. Is a really, guess what he doesn't have in this fight? He doesn't have soccer kicks. You know, like
Right.
one of the things that has made him wildly exciting and a fan favorite at featherweight in Asia is now the thing that is like completely barred from this. I wouldn't be surprised if he threw one and got DQ'd, you know, and I'm not saying that about his mental state, but it's so ingrained in like some of the stuff that he does. And like I said, he's going to be throwing, jump knees. He's going to be probably throwing a spinning back kick. All of those things lend themselves to getting your back taken, getting taken down. I'm going to take Chang Min Yoon, hopefully as a good size underdog here to just grind this one out.
All right. Yoon, the big heart. Hopefully he fights like he's got a big heart for us. We are to the second to last bout. We'll call it a co-main event. Agulali from China. Mridul Saikia. That shouldn't be a hard one, should it? Saikia. He is from India. They're fighting at 125, 3 5-minute rounds in the tournament. Saikia's Crusher. Crusher's much easier to say and cooler. Crusher is 8-0, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. So that means he owes his rounds. This is his debut. He's fed at 135. Agulali. Right? Agulali. You say everything Italian, Gummy. Agulali. Mamma mia. He's 12-1. 8 knockouts, 3 submissions. Never been finished in a fight. He owes his rounds. Damn it. This is his debut as well. He's won 7 straight, 4 straight via finish. He's not lost since December 2021. He's fed at 135, 3 inches height, 8 years younger over Saikia. Crusher.
Yeah, 8 years younger. And I think Saikia is, what is he, like 29?
Yeah, that's right.
28.
Agulali is like 19 or 20. I
think he's 20. Yeah.
I think he might have been 20 by now. Yeah.
And he's only been a pro for a minute. So look, this is really hard for me because Agulali he's still pretty green. But man, is he good. And like I said before, this card's got a lot of guys who I'm like, they're legit, put him in the UFC. Agulali just might be another one of those guys. He might be, if Tao and Khera are, 2 guys, we maybe have 2.5 on this card with Agulali because like he's 20. So it's hard to tell just like how good is this dude. I think, first of all, how good he's looked is going to put him at like a -350, -400 kind of line. And the reason being is that like he's good so many different places. He looks composed on the feet. He doesn't look like like 20-year-olds tend to go out there and try to knock people's blocks off and overly aggressive and maybe too sure of themselves. He's really patient on the feet. He's really smart there. His control once he gets you to the ground is like, the way he moves between positions and holds that spot. Like I think those things are great. Throws a lot of like really great calf kicks, which I like. And then his jiu-jitsu game is just like, it's like so surprising. Like he won his last fight by cellular stretch, which is that for those of you who maybe don't know, it's that like knee bar when you have back control. The guy tries to tripod up and you grab the calf or you grab the Achilles, you pull it basically up over his head until his own body knee bars himself. And, we saw it I think we saw it twice in an event, right? It was Zabit Magomed Sharapov and Aljamain Sterling hit it in the same event. And like Agulali hit one against a halfway decent opponent too. It's not like he was just tooling on somebody who knows nothing about jiu-jitsu or anything like that. So like his jiu-jitsu is so good and he's so smart and composed on the feet. Like my question is just like, is there a bad loss in there somewhere being a 20-year-old? Like, is there a chance he takes a step up and or the bright lights scare him off? So like, I think he's going to be a massive favorite. I'm really excited about him. And I'm also like just a touch tentative about possibly like getting in on that line or throwing in all my parlays. So like, keep that in mind. Yeah. And then, I shouldn't be not giving a Saikia, breakdown, but like he's real snappy on the feet. He throws some really sharp leg kicks. His combinations are short, but he pretty much always throws 2 punches at a time, no matter what. So like all of that stuff is like pretty solid for him. The big problem is I just seen him dumped on his back too many times. And it's seemingly without like really much fight. In fact, like I almost think he wants to be taken down times. Like people shoot a takedown. He's like, cool, there's my guillotine. And immediately starts grabbing for it. Now he's gotten some guillotine. So I don't want to call him a guillotine jumper and, make fun of him for, constantly going for it because he's gotten some. But like, right, that stops working at a point, right? Like that's not effective constantly. Ask Cody McKenzie. It doesn't work forever. People start defending that. And and maybe that's the reason why I'm tentative about an Agulali like bad loss, right? Like it could be that he doesn't like what he sees on the feet, goes to dump him, gets caught in a guillotine. So maybe I'm just a touch hesitant on playing him, but I still like Agulali. I think he's a really great prospect. He's going to be a massive favorite here. I'll be rooting for him. But maybe don't play negative 350 in your parlays.
Yeah. Probably not. Young guys too. They're bound to lose at least one bout that they're not supposed to on the way up. So, all right, it'd be exciting to see the kid though. See how he does on a bigger stage here. All right, before we dive into the very last bout of the episode, we talk about Rhythm. RITHMM. Rhythm is your home for AI backed picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs, PGA, MLB, and just launched the WNBA. Rhythm knows you'll love it. That's why they include a 7-day free trial. Check out the Who Do We Decide, Dante DiVincenzo prop lines over at Rhythm. And Rhythm has some amazing deals going on right now. 25% off monthly subscription with promo code SGPN25 and 50% off an annual subscription with promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. And to get your 7-day free trial, go to sportsgamblingpockets.com/rhythm, RITHMM. And that Circa's Ultimate Fantasy Football giveaway is on as we speak. Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. The winner will receive a 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for their entire 12-person league, 6 Double King rooms. Hold the draft at a cabana at Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit. Limo transportation to and from the airport, a welcome party at Legacy Club for the league, a reservation at the world's largest sportsbook with $500 beverage credit for the league, a 2-hour open bar package for the league at Overhang Bar. So like I said, the contest is on as we speak. It runs until June the 30th, and you enter by going to sportsgamblingpockets.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpockets.com/CIRCA. And we're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every sport, including the NBA playoffs. For the true degens, the MyBookie Money Bag. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Dante DiVincenzo lines are there. Check it out. And, of course, MMA lines as well. When you do head to MyBookie.ag, use our code MMASGPN. That way you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. So terms and conditions apply to that. So make sure to go to MyBookie.ag, use our code MMASGPN. All right, the last belt of this part of the card is the final featherweight tournament bout. Kaiwen Lee from China, Donghyun Xiao, SEO, search engine optimization from South Korea. 3 5-minute rounds, 145.
Little writer's joke there.
Yep, little writer's joke. SEO optimization. His Pinnacle is his nickname. It should be optimization, but anyhow, 7-2-1, 4 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out twice. He owes his rounds. This is his debut. He's won 4 straight and gone 6-0-1 over his last 7. TKO win in his last bout. He's not lost since November 2019. He's fed at 155. Lee, 14-6, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted once. 2-0 on the road to the UFC. He's won 2 straight and 4 or 5. He went 9-3 in 1 championship, the biggest promotion in the history of mankind. He's fed at 155, 2014 pro MMA debut, 2 inches height over Xiao, 5 years younger.
I think Lee is going to come in here as a favorite, having been on road to the UFC. Although, like I said before, I don't know necessarily that plays too heavily into the book's hands. But I think his body of work is going to put him as a favorite here. We'll say like negative 185, like plus 165 on the return for Xiao. And I'm going to go with Donghyun Xiao.
Of course, he's Korean.
I've been going, dude. This was not planned with the Korean baseball hat, but also
it worked.
Man, a lot of them just look so damn good. And in this case, I just think he's a bad matchup for Kaiwen Lee. Because if you watch Kaiwen Lee, like, look, first of all, dangerous as hell on the feet. This guy's got big knockout power, moves forward, wants to take your head off. But the other problem is that the way that he does that leaves himself very open to counters. Like, quite a bit open to counters. He's also terrible on the mat. Lucky for him in this fight, I don't think that matters. I wrote some very not nice words about him while I was watching film over here. I won't say many of them out loud.
Too bad.
Yeah, no. But, like, he's bad on the mat, but it doesn't really matter here because these guys are going to strike it out. But Kaiwen Lee, again, powerful, moves forward, doesn't block his face. Donghyun Xiao is really, really, really smart when it comes to his approach to striking. He circles to the side. He makes you chase him. So even if Lee comes forward, like he's going to have to chase. And then he's really smart on counter punches when somebody overextends themselves, which Kaiwen Lee does because he's trying to knock your block off all the time. And then when he hits you with one of those counter punches, he turns into an absolute madman. He throws the wildest punches if he thinks he's got you hurt, and like is really dangerous at that time. So it's almost like he's a sniper for the whole fight until he shot you in the leg one time, and then you're done. And then he's gonna beat you with a rubber mallet instead of all the other pieces he's got. So yeah, like I just think for Kaiwen Lee, that's the worst kind of matchup, right? Because he's already trying to take your block off. Now he's gonna have trouble finding him, reaching for him. He's gonna overextend, eat one extra shot, and then he just doesn't defend himself enough well when it comes down to it. So I think CO is going to hit one counter at some point in time. Then he's going to open up and finish Lee. So I'm going to take Jonghyun CO. And hey, if we're looking at props, we're getting fancy with any of these. This is a KO situation here. Or play the under.
Yep. All right. He's got CO. He's got Agulali. He has got Yoon. He's got Tao. He's got Khera. So Khera is the one you're most excited about?
All right. Yeah. I think my three favorite in order would be Mansher, Khera, followed by Aaron Tao, and then Agulali. Like in that order. Khera has just got the higher level of competition. I guess we've seen Tao against a good level of competition too, right? Elijah Smith is high level. Agulali is just young and green. So like a lot of hype, but like maybe a little bit more, pump the brakes on him. And then, I throw a boat out there to Chang Min Yoon. If he's got the takedowns that I think he does against Aoi, he like probably could be a sneaky pick to, make some noise in this featherweight tournament. And maybe even like, we just talked about a pair of featherweights who love to duke it out on the feet. Like he might even be the type of guy who can kind of like spoil their run in the tournament too. So Chang Min Yoon is maybe one little dark horse to keep an eye on there.
Sounds like a good episode. So make sure you check out episode 2 of Road to UFC. We'll be in the Discord discussing it on Thursday morning at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You can hit us up on Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gummy Real, and I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there. And on Instagram, same handle. Obviously, you can hit us up in the comments on YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe, please and thanks. Check out my Substack, moneymma.substack.com. Check out Gumby's other podcast, Top Turtle MMA. TBA for his guest this week, but I'm sure he'll have some good people on there like he always does. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com is our home base. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Your code is DEGENS, DEGENS. That'll get you 20% off. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon for some bonus content. And Gumby gets to bid you farewell today.
All right, I'm David Gumby Freeland. He's Jeff Fox 'em up Fox, and we will see you tomorrow.